Good morning, Saturday morning, the 12th of June. That's Perinaldo in the distance there. I am up on the land. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm about to get started work. I flew the drone just a little bit. I took the scooter into the land. Fantastic little drive. I really like riding the scooter. And I took the scooter on the washed out road here. It made it okay. Actually, with a low center of gravity, a scooter is pretty ideal if it had better grip on the tires, because it was obviously raining last night and it's slipping and sliding all over. So that is a little bit difficult, but anyway, so I parked it up at the top on the sort of abandoned road at the top of the property here. It's about 50 meters up there, and then climb down here. I have an idea. This is not my land back up here. This is not mine, but maybe I can put a sort of a walkway up and down through there, put in some steps. That would make it a little bit more accessible. Don't think anyone would mind. I think I'm surrounded by just abandoned land. Something to think about for the future. Anyway, I've got to start the projects. I've got digging to do today. I've obviously got the backside of the guttering to put in place. So lots of stuff to do. Yeah, excited to be here. Just a beautiful, beautiful day. Hot, wet, rainy, it's a bit moist in the air. Yeah, just lovely and so quiet. Just all you can hear is a little bit of wind, some insects, and bird song. Good afternoon. It's about 4:30 on Saturday, the 12th. I've been digging all day, so this is some of my handiwork. All the soil came out from behind. I don't know where it's going to put all this stuff, but we'll figure it out. So this is where we're at. We've dug down 3 meter plus at the back and started making a little retaining wall / step. Now I've also got tacked in place the back gutter. It's very wonky, but it's functional. So across there to a low point, so 4 meters down, then the low point, and the last sort of 1.8 meters. Here, I was going to put it at the back, the drain here, but I wanted to slope it downwards this way, but it turns out the roof slopes the other way. So what that means is that there is a widening gap as the roof slopes this way and the gutter slopes the other way. So I decided, well, look, I'll just put it here, have one barrel here, have drains on both sides. So the central tank will be the receiving tank, and then they'll be joined in series to the left and to the right, and that should work. That should meet the function. I did want to have the overflow tank, but I can also put a drain at the top for overflow, and that can run out across the top and then down that way. That's kind of the plan there. I was going to do that positioned here, but yeah, it just looked too bad. So I cut it short, made a change of plan, and put it here. So next week, I'm expecting some of the fittings for the rain barrel to come from eBay next week, so I can drill those in to the rain barrel on the left side, the right side at the bottom, and also one at the upper high top for the overflow drain. And then I can bring it up to the land, position it here, see how many fittings I need here. When I run the pipe from the front side to here, I've got two options. One, I can just go around the corner, or if the angle works, I can have the pipe just roll right here and terminate draining into here, and then the water will trickle down here. That's why I've left the extension piece, haven't cut that short yet. A nicer looking solution would be to run it to this corner, run a pipe here, meet up with a T-junction here, and I have a T-junction fitting, I have all the pipe, so I can do that, but we'll just wait and see. Now I've also got to buy some netting. I've been throwing dirt around, so the gutters are all full of dirt. But I'm going to put netting over the top to keep out insects, to keep out debris. And I've got some zip ties to tie those all down. That's the next stage. Is even if I can get the back one, this back half, that's a start for rainwater collection. Digging the dirt today was far easier. There was rain overnight, so the soil, the clay was much looser, so I was able to make much more progress. Plus I've been digging for let's see, 3.5 hours. So we've come back here, final view. Pretty cool. I'd love to know how much soil I moved, because then I had to move it once to here and then to move it again down here. So a few hundred kilograms times 2 over a few days. So yeah, so that's kind of where it's going to go. Making some fun progress. Really happy with this. Been an absolute beautiful day. Blue skies everywhere, blue and hazy, hot. When I arrived this morning, there was some overnight rain is still on the foliage. Look at this, it's just lovely. Nice. Good morning, Thursday the 17th of June. Beautiful day. So much a scorcher, but it's hot. It's mid-20s, high 20s. So I've just got up to the land. I've got a little haul up with me today. I started with some camping gear. I've got a hammock still in the van. I've got a sleeping bag liner. Then I've got some fittings, some bulkhead fittings for the first water tank. Tools, so it's the hole saw, battery, tool set. Got a new saw, a coarser saw. I've got these netting for the gutters, 6 meters of netting. Sorry, 12 meters of netting. And other assorted odds and ends like drills and PVC glue. And the big piece is the first water barrel, which I've lugged up here. We've got the distance right, I think. Maybe a little bit lower. I've just got to see the fittings that I want to put in between here and the top of the rain barrel. It's actually getting a bit snug. There's no way I can get a T fitting in there, which will come down significantly lower. Also, significantly wider than I had hoped, because I want actually a walkway past the rain barrel so I can walk comfortably past, maybe a hip width. So it means I've got to dig out to probably about where my foot is. So that's a cubic meter or two all the way to the end, because there'll be a second rain barrel behind there, and third rain barrel here eventually. That's sort of the plan. I don't know how much rain I'm going to get, so I'm going to start with one. I put the fittings on both sides. So this is the bulkhead fitting here. Sorry, I drilled that with a hole saw. I've got a second one down there on that side, which connects to the second rain barrel. This one will connect to the first rain barrel. When I've only got one rain barrel or two, it'll just be the hose connection. And I'll be able to run the hose down here, just use gravity, stand down there, and use that to wash hands, and maybe putting a sink and basin down there. Eventually, there'll be a pump, which will pump water to a cistern up there. And then here will be sort of sink and so forth. So, but that's in the future, step by step. What's the other thing? I've also took a third connection up here, which will be for overflow. So attach that hose, spin it around and head it hose out that way and then down the hill. I've also got this old PVC piping for another project, which I'm thinking of when I reach the appropriate depth. I'll dig down a little bit further and I'll run this PVC piping full of holes and down along the edge underneath the dirt, right by the stonework, and then angle it down so that any water that rains back here, the runoff, it'll sink into the earth. Give it an option to make its way out, because I really want to avoid this getting a big mud slushy pile. I am going to put stones underneath where the rain barrels are, but yeah, it's just something that I've just thought of that's probably beneficial. Just some more extra work, not too, yeah, it's just more, some more digging. Gorgeous day, peaceful. Gotta get to work. It's a shame this area is not deeper, because this would make, once I have the deck out to here, and I say it was another 3 feet, 1 meter lower, which I mean that would be, I could dig that out. This could be my kitchen area, using the deck covering as a roof. Maybe a shower potentially here, and a sink here. That may be better. Definitely better if I use this hole and it can build some sort of down here, dig out concrete post and use this to extend the deck even further out to here. That'll add another sort of 1, 2, 3 square meters to the size of the deck. Then you could walk down here and then have a whole separate room here. I'm thinking, bathroom facilities at the back. Sorry, water facilities at the back. That means I wouldn't necessarily need a cistern. That's a little bit over there. I wouldn't need a pump. Not that that's a big problem, really. Just get a little solar pump. They're pretty cheap. I don't know, but that's a different kind of work and more digging. And I don't know how far down these stones go. If it is just down to here, then I'll be digging down underneath them. That could undermine them somewhat. So that is a consideration. Thursday, the 17th. So I got a lot of work done today. A lot of progress on all the things I really wanted to knock off. Pretty much been accomplished. Everything's kind of in a rough shape, but major tasks are done. So firstly, I wanted to widen this area to make it wide enough to fit the rain barrel in and walk past. So I've done that. There was some digging today. I ran a sort of the pipe through here. It's to be a sort of a makeshift French drain. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll give it a shot. I put the netting. I cleaned out the gutters of all the dirt. I put on the netting with zip ties. Haven't had a chance to cut them short yet, but that is little task for another day. So yeah, there's the rain barrel. I haven't drilled in the top yet because I don't know exactly where I'm going to position this main receiving tank. It could be a little bit this way, a little bit further back. But yeah, this is how it's going to work. We've got a ball valve on this side, which I've attached the hose adapter to. So it rains, it fills up with water, and then I've got to run a hose along here for the time being, and then run it down here, and I can have a sink down below to suit gravity feed. Just a basin to wash. Be fantastic. Okay, I've got a ball valve, exactly the same one on the other side, which will then connect to the second rain barrel, which will go on that side. Open up ball valves, and when this one fills up, it'll equalize across to the next one. Same when I have a third rain barrel here. If I do that, then they'll equalize across all three, and I'll have 900 liters maximum. There's even space if I really want it for a fourth. Later on, I can run a solar pump from there up to here, and have that as the cistern, so gravity feeding water to this level down here, where this is where the sort of the terrace is going to be. I did a little of exploring. I pulled apart my retaining wall. I was going to use rebar, of course. That was the original plan, of course, to sink in there, curing the stone. But yeah, it's just so buried full of stone. There's just getting rebar in there is just not possible. So it's just gonna have to rest. I've got a couple of big pieces. This one here, big chunk up there. I'll use those as 2 base pieces. Then build on top of that to get that more secure, and use that as a step. I did a bit of chainsawing today. This area, this path, what I wanted to do was investigate those trees, which may or may not be on my property. I've got to measure, I think I've got 10 meters. Yeah, that's probably within 10 meters. Anyway, whether they are or not, whether these trees are or not, it's a nice spot up here in the summer sun. This spot here is super shady, so if I can clear off this foliage, push back into the dirt here, maybe make just a little table and chairs area, could be kind of nice, just protected from the sun. Have a nice shaded from these oaks. The other reason I was looking to come up here was I want to build Liam a tree house. It's probably getting a bit old for it. I don't know. Anyway, so my number one candidate would be right here, because it's beautiful, it's shaded, it's close to the property, the building. But this span between here and here is just far too big. So, and this doesn't seem to be any place I can affix a platform there, not that I can immediately springs to mind. So the next option is there's a big old, probably the biggest olive tree I've found on this property so far is just below these oaks. So I'll investigate that next to see what it's like. Again, it's quite handy to the property, maybe less shade. Yeah, just want to see if that was a good candidate for a treehouse project. So yeah, overall, really happy with today. Everything takes much longer than I thought it would take. That's annoying. This area could be really nice also for a seating / barbecue area. No sun protection, which is the major drawback. Obviously you do in the morning with these trees above, but once sort of 1 o'clock hits, it's hot sun and quite quite warm. and sweaty. So yeah, I've got my retaining wall is the next. Tidy up all the netting. Dig down perhaps a little bit further here because this is way higher than I would like. And it really depends on how I run the water from the front gutters, whether I use this T or if I can just pour it, run it into the end of that gutter which I've got sticking out. So we'll wait and see. But overall, that's how it can rain tonight and I can start gathering water, which is fantastic. It's not going to rain tonight, but it won't rain for another 2 months. But when it does, I'll catch you. Awesome sauce.